never seen a rope. Pop out like the boogeyman, thought you seen a ghost. Yeah, pressure, so pressure, ain't no pressure, ain't no pressure, ain't no pressure. He's over here recording, no pressure, so impressive. Yeah, I'm pressure.
What is the big old deal, man? We are back cracking for another one. You already know it's your boy Don Mello. Today we got an interesting one, man. So I know a lot of y'all have seen the hold on, let me quick. So I can see this chat. All right, so I know a lot of y'all have seen the Diddy documentary. I haven't personally, not yet, because I'm still watching this other show. I love to binge watch a lot of shows. So like if I'm ever into a show, I like to finish that show from top to bottom, pause, and then move on to another show. Cause like when I'm watching a show, I'm immersed in that world. I feel like I know these niggas. So and I don't know if some of y'all don't. I don't know if y'all know about that one show. Cause the show I'm watching right now, currently, I'm on season 5 of what's that shit called? Animal Kingdom. Now I didn't know that this was an old show. I didn't even know this was an old show. But apparently I'm late to the party. You know what I'm saying? But the show is crazy. So I've been locked in on that. But once I'm done with that, I plan to watch the documentary. But we finna go ahead and get into this content. So make sure y'all like this video. Let's go.
The documentary was produced by 50 Cent of all people. In the documentary, we got a closer look at Diddy's demeanor in his final days before his subsequent arrest. Netflix somehow acquired never-before-seen footage of Diddy. It appears Diddy was filming a potential documentary in the days leading up to his arrest, but after his arrest, he scrapped the project. Because of this, the videographers ended up not getting paid, and eventually it seems they sold the footage to Netflix, which they used for this documentary. In this unseen footage, we see Diddy's last days in the free world, and provided a glance at what a giant looks like when the walls are closing in. Another thing the documentary did a decent job at was showing how Diddy used and abused everyone he came in contact with since the very beginning. From his artists like Biggie and Craig Mack to his enemies like Tupac and Suge Knight, and even his lovers like Cassie and Kim Porter. Diddy abused them all. This documentary shows why Diddy is truly a monster, with those who spoke in his documentary confirming many of the allegations made against Diddy. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In the description, I want to thank and in the middle of it. The symbol is actually called the triquetra.
Hey, you noticed that?
I know. Listen up. If staff abused you while you were locked up in juvie, you are not just stuck with the trauma. You could be looking at 300 grand or more. That's real money, not Monopoly cash. And most of these cases,
a lot of people get molested behind them walls because God.
And in the middle of it.
So peep that necklace, bro. So the thing he just mentioned, where he showed that symbol, I remember seeing that same exact symbol on, I think it was a TV show called Witches or Bewitched or something like that. It was like these three females. Like they were like sisters or something like that, and they were all witches. They used to come on channel 13. But one thing I've been noticing with Diddy, man, he been involved with a lot of, like, especially around the time of him getting ready to go to jail. As y'all know, he got that big tattoo. It's like a demonic tattoo on his back. Then not only that, now he's wearing, this necklace that represents what it represents.
The symbol is actually called the triquetra, and in the occult world, it is used as a protection amulet. I don't think there's even a need to say what this chain also represents. We already know Diddy is a member of the club. I do find it interesting that they opened this documentary with that footage, showing Diddy squeezing on the chain like he truly felt it was protecting him. This shows how deeply Diddy was involved in the mystical, proving my point that I have been making since 2021, that a lot of the evil Diddy does is rooted in the spiritual world. There is something truly evil powering Diddy's actions. Another part of the interview that I found important was the charity basketball game Diddy hosted that ended in tragedy. Diddy cost the lives of his fans over 20 years before Travis would. The documentary implied that Diddy set up this charity basketball game and overhyped it. This led to the event going over capacity and causing crowding issues. With the lack of staff and the surge of people coming in, the event ended in several people losing their lives, being crushed by mobs of people. In the documentary, they demonstrated how Diddy refused to take any accountability, refusing to acknowledge that he was at fault for 9 people losing their lives at an
I think this is the same event that his old security was talking about, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is the same event where, or it could be a separate event though, because he did say he warned them about it or whatever. So I don't know, this could be a separate event, but still.
Event he hosted and planned. Something that really stuck with me was the fact that when Diddy went to create Bad Boy Records, he decided to put the company under his mother's and his best friend's names. He did this to protect his assets just in case the families of the victims who lost their lives would attempt to sue him. This showed that Diddy genuinely didn't care about the 9 people who lost their lives at an event he set up. He was responsible for keeping the event at capacity. He was also responsible for having the right amount of security and staff, but his desire was to host the grandest event that would make him look like a big star, but ended in disaster and tragedy. Diddy refused to acknowledge his role in the tragedy and took the necessary steps to protect the only thing he ever cared about, his reputation and his money. This truly showed how since day one, since before Diddy was a hip-hop mogul, he was already the monster he is today. Something that the documentary demonstrated again when they showed footage of Diddy interacting with his fans. During a part of the documentary, they showed Diddy in the streets interacting with some of his fans. Diddy appears to be all cheery and happy when he talks to his fans and stops to take pictures with many of them. But when he was done interacting with them and got back in his car, he started making comments on how dirty he was from mingling with the people, literally saying he was gonna have to take a bath in boiling water and peroxide. Diddy was showing that he saw his fans like peasants, reinforcing that.
Yeah, I seen that clip, bro, and I seen how they showed the clip, and then 50 Cent was kind of like going into depth on like how this is they wanted to show his character. That said a lot about a person. Now, it's one thing to be a germaphobe or you got OCD, you know, but like usually a person like that is gonna express that in like in public, right? He waited until he got in the car and then basically was just like, you know, like, damn, that's crazy. That's how you feel about the people? Like you're dirty. Nigga, you touch doorknobs. Look, you touching her right now. You touching somebody. You could be dirty, bro. Like, what? Wait. Hold on. And wait. Whoa. You want to talk about somebody feeling dirty, my boy? I just thought about this. He want to talk about somebody being dirty. He want to talk about somebody being dirty when I wouldn't even shake his hand because he probably just got done doing the freak off. What? This is the same man who was talking about he likes to rub men's semen on his nipple. Like, what? Where they do that at? And you got the nerve to sit here and act like these people are dirty or something? Bruh, you be sitting up here going up in people's back doors. French Montana. Like, what we talking about? You got the nerve of this nigga to sit up here and talk crazy about people and act like they're beneath him. Like he's just the most holiest, cleanest thing walking this earth, bruh. When you're dirty, nigga. Yes, you're dirty.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, you're dirty, bitch. All right? You're dirty. Let's go.
that he uses everyone he comes in contact with, even his fans. He uses his fans to make money and to feel like a god, but deep down, he's disgusted by them and feels dirty after interacting with them. His love for the fans is all fake. It's just a part of Diddy's manipulation. The next important part of the documentary was the segment about Tupac. Last year, the world discovered that Keffe D was finally arrested for the death of rapper Tupac. For years now, Keffe D had openly admitted to being a part of the situation that led up to his death. A death that not only Keffe blamed on Diddy, but also others involved in the situation. In the
There's a creative side hustle almost nobody is talking about.
He need to take a bath. That's what he said. He said, I feel dirty. I got to take a bath.
Content creation, being a YouTuber or a streamer or freelancing. It's voice acting.
It ain't even hot out there, bro. It wasn't even hot in New York, man.
In the documentary, they played a police recording of Keffe D being interrogated where he confirms Diddy put $1 million bounty on Tupac and Suge Knight's head. Keffe claims that after Tupac and his crew jumped Orlando Anderson at the Mike Tyson boxing match, Keffe linked up with Anderson and their crew and went looking for Tupac in the area. When they found him, they ambushed Tupac and took him out, hoping to collect the reward Diddy had put on their heads. The next day, Keffe claims he sent word to Diddy, who asked him if Tupac's death was at their hands, which they confirmed. The detective in the documentary even confirms Diddy made a $500,000 payment to a middleman who was supposed to redirect the money to Keffe D and his crew, but the middleman kept the money instead. The documentary seems to confirm the rumors that Diddy paid for the hit on Tupac, which means he is the reason Tupac is gone. In the documentary, they made it clear that P. Diddy was always envious of Tupac. Tupac was the star that Diddy wanted to be, so Diddy became obsessed with ending him and taking his place. There was a part of the documentary where they showed just how much Diddy hated Tupac. As one of the male escorts who was paid to participate in the freak-offs for 8 years, recalled the day when he was at a freak-off with Cassie and a Tupac song happened to start playing. The man claims Diddy instantly was triggered and told Cassie to take his music off. The man also confirmed that he had only ever seen that reaction from Diddy when that Tupac song came on. This indicates two things. Either Diddy still felt hatred and envy for Tupac, or he felt guilty for being the man responsible for his death. Maybe even a mixture of both. This documentary makes it pretty clear that Diddy was the one responsible for what happened to Tupac, something that all these years later Diddy never paid the price for. Just like he never paid the price for the club shooting incident with J-Lo. Now I have spoken about
the club shoot. That might be it. That might be the one I'm talking about. That his security was talking about, but I'm not sure though, because you know this nigga throw hella parties.
Times before, so I would make it brief. In the documentary, they show exactly how Diddy set up Shine to take the fall, which again shows us how he uses and abuses everyone he comes in contact with. The documentary reveals that Shine's lawyers were in fact Diddy's lawyers, with Diddy hiring them not to defend Shine, but to set Shine up to make sure he wouldn't go down for it. The lawyers purposely tricked Shine into admitting he shot the weapon, convincing him to go with a self-defense claim. The only thing is...
You think so? After seeing that documentary, Diddy did Pac and Big. I believe so. I don't put nothing past. Just off of the trial, that everything that was said in the trial and everything like that, and the evidence they had. Oh yeah, he definitely did it for sure.
If you know anything about New York, then you know there is no such thing as self-defense when it comes to firearms in New York. Firearms are strictly prohibited in New York City. Unless you have a weapons permit, which is extremely difficult to acquire, you can't use a firearm at all. By Shine's lawyers telling him to go with self-defense, he admitted to having a weapon and discharging it. They did this so they can pin all the blame on him and paint Diddy as an innocent bystander. As if he admits that he used the weapon, he's taking fault for the entire thing. While Shine thought he was holding Diddy down and he had a plan to get them out of the situation, in reality, Diddy only had a plan to get himself out of it by sacrificing Shine. Again, showing how Diddy uses and abuses everyone he comes in contact with. Diddy committed the crime, and then those close to him paid the consequence. He never paid the price for that club shooting, just like he never paid the price for what it seemed.
Definitely. He already be trying to do the gangster shit, but he can't. He don't know how to handle the. But he don't want to accept what come along with being gangster though. He don't want to accept the consequences of that or trying to be that. Like, bruh, it's crazy. Yeah.
He did to Biggie. In the documentary, they seem to suggest that Diddy wasn't only behind Tupac's death, but also behind Biggie's. Those being interviewed claim that although Diddy pretended he was close friends with Biggie, he never claims he did to Biggie. In the documentary, they seem to suggest that Diddy wasn't only behind Tupac's death, but also behind Biggie's. Those being interviewed claim that although Diddy pretended he was close friends with Biggie, he never truly was. Instead, he was actually jealous of Biggie because he was the star and was talented. Diddy always wanted to be the star. He always wanted to be praised. So he didn't like that Biggie was getting all the attention that he desperately wanted. This was clearly depicted in the documentary when they claimed Diddy heard Biggie was chosen to be on the cover of the Rolling Stone magazine. So he stole the cover from Biggie and had them feature him instead. Parts of the documentary seem to suggest that Diddy also set Biggie up to die on the trip to Cali. Biggie met his demise after he went to Cali after the death of Tupac.
And I remember I seen an interview, and I think it was I can't think of bro's name, bro, but his old security guard. And he was speaking on how Diddy wanted to, what do you say? He lied and said Big was to be in LA when Big wanted to be in LA when he didn't. None of Bad Boy wanted to. Exactly. Like, why would he want to go to LA knowing that it's all this beef going on, knowing that it's a war going on right now between the both coasts? Like, what? And he made it seem like he had to go there for his album, whatever the case is. But I remember Diddy talking to Diddy's security guard, his old security guard, talking about how Diddy was saying basically that he basically wanted to get Big and Pac out the way because it was messing up money or something like that, or it was a reason why he said it though. But like, yeah, it was. Yeah.
Nobody ever understood why Biggie would even dare go to Cali after Pac's death, as they had been beefing right up to his death. Many people felt that Biggie and Diddy set Tupac up in that quad studio situation. So when Tupac was killed, fans of Tupac naturally hated both Biggie and Diddy, especially on the West Coast where Tupac was based. So Biggie deciding to go to Cali after Pac's death was a death wish. But for some reason, Biggie still chose to go to Cali and never returned home. After he died, people asked Diddy why he allowed Biggie to go to Cali. Diddy always denied any responsibility and claimed that he was just following Biggie's lead, insinuating Biggie was the one who wanted to go to Cali, not him. Those in the documentary debunked this though, recalling that it was all Diddy's plan to take Biggie to Cali, despite all the warnings that they wanted his head out there. Biggie even refused to go at first, but Diddy was persistent, convincing him to go to Cali, and while they were there,
Gene Deal, good looking, Pops. Yeah, Gene Deal. That's his name, Gene Deal. So if y'all like watching this, man, make sure y'all go and look up Gene Deal and a lot of his interviews, because he was exposing that was like Diddy's like right hand security, like that was like his main security guard back in the day. And he was expressing how Diddy wanted to get Pac and Biggie out the way, because I guess it was like messing up his money or whatever the reason was. But he definitely had those sentiments saying basically he wanted to get them out the paint for sure.
To his appearances he had outside of Cali to make sure Biggie stood out there longer. On top of this, in the documentary, a former employee of Bad Boy claimed Diddy tried to scam Biggie's legacy after his death. The former Bad Boy employee claimed that Biggie had just re-signed with Bad Boy right before his death, but after he died, Diddy needed his estate to sign the deal since they now represented him. So Diddy tried hiding new terms that favored Bad Boy in the contract by switching out pages of the original contract with new pages that Biggie had never agreed with. When the employer refused to scam Biggie's family, Diddy shortly fired him, and possibly did it anyways. So not only does this documentary suggest Diddy was responsible for Biggie losing his life, but on top of that, they accuse him of trying to steal his money after his death. But the most shameful thing Diddy did was milk Biggie's death, dropping songs and launching his own music career using his death as marketing. He never cared about Biggie. All he cared about was money and his ego. Another thing the documentary did a good job at was demonstrating how Diddy used and abused Cassie like everyone else. The documentary showed how Cassie was only 18 when she crossed paths with Diddy. He then used the power dynamic between employee and boss to take advantage of her, and ended up turning Cassie into his literal pleasure slave. They showed Capricorn Clark retelling how Diddy went after Kid Cudi when he found out he was messing with Cassie. Clark recalled Diddy using her as bait to threaten to hurt her if Cassie wouldn't return to him. This shows how Cassie was trapped, and it wasn't as simple as just walking away to get away from Diddy. Diddy kept her captive against her will. She didn't really have a choice. And we saw confirmation of that with the hotel footage, as when she tried to get away, Diddy didn't let her. People like to disregard Cassie's story because they claim she wanted it, and she only went after Diddy because Diddy didn't love her anymore, didn't marry her, and she never became a star. They say that she chose to get with Diddy and stood with him after seeing what he really was about. So because of this, they don't see her as a victim. But in my opinion, Cassie, while not completely innocent, is still 100% a victim.
Ain't no telling. That's a cold nigga right there. He using your, and that's what a lot of these labels do, bro. Like, they'll sign you, and they'll give you, because I think Suge did the same thing that Aaliyah was doing. I mean, not Aaliyah. The same thing that Diddy was doing. Because I didn't know that he used big money to pay for the funeral. That's a cold nigga, but that ain't no different than these labels. Prime example, Suge Knight. You know, Tupac was, he was giving Tupac the car, giving him the house, the jewelry, the money, everything he wanted. But guess what though? That was coming out of his, that was, he didn't own none of that shit. And he was using, I guess, the money that he signed with it or whatever. Well, they do scandalous stuff like that. Like, how you gonna give me my own? How you gonna pay for that with your own money? Like, bro, when you the nigga who got him killed, man, it's just crazy. I don't know. Maybe, nah, I don't think Aaliyah got done that way as far as being abused, but maybe for sure, sexually abused, maybe, because remember she married R. Kelly at like 15, and then married R. Kelly at 15, and she was also messing with Jay-Z. So ain't no telling, man. These niggas is crazy.
Let me explain why. Cassie was only 18 when she met Diddy, very young and stupid. And Diddy started pursuing her the moment he saw her. She wanted to be a famous artist, and Diddy offered her that opportunity. In a sneaky way, he used his music industry power to get access to her, and then took over her life. Yes, Cassie could have said no and walked away, but then she would have lost her opportunity to make it in the industry. Chances are, if Diddy dropped her, her career would be over, and no one else would give her a shot. You gotta look at it like this. Imagine if your sister went to get a job and her boss told her that if she wanted that job, she had to let him do whatever he wanted to her. Your sister would likely say no because she knows there's other jobs out there that won't require her to do this. She doesn't need to compromise herself for this opportunity. She can just go get another job. But what happens when there are no other jobs? When this is the only opportunity and is either do this or starve? Now your sister is desperate enough that she might fold under that extreme pressure, allowing this man to do whatever he wants to her because she needs to work and she feels like she doesn't have a choice. Is either do it or go without eating. That's exactly how it goes in the music industry. A lot of these artists were desperate for a shot, especially in the 2000s, when it was much harder to get in the industry. If Diddy wants you to compromise yourself, you can reject him. But you have to expect that other labels are not going to give you a shot either. You have to expect that turning down his demands could mean the end of your career for good. Which, don't get me wrong, I do understand doesn't justify selling out and compromising yourself.
But that's so whack though, bro. Like, that's why I'm glad we live in the time we live in, man, because back then, those gatekeepers like Diddy, man. And the cold part about it is, it's like, not only will he shut down access to his resources, like the ones he's gonna give you, but then also he blackballing you from everybody else because he couldn't get his sexual desires off. That is diabolical. That is diabolical, bro. Because you couldn't get your rocks off, now all of a sudden I can't follow my dream as a singer. You gotta be kidding me, bro. Like, ain't no motherfucking way. That's crazy. And me personally, I don't think he got what he deserved, man. I think he got let off light, if you ask me. He got let off very light. like real easy. You know what I'm saying? What, trafficking charge? No, he didn't even get the trafficking charge. He got did he? No, wait, did he get sex trafficking? I think he did get sex trafficking. I gotta look it up because I seen it last night though. But still though, it's just like it's crazy, man, what this industry will do to you, and how these people will treat you just because for their own personal desires. Like that's the crazy work. It's one thing when it's about money, but there's another thing because like she ain't want to give you fellatio. She ain't want to do your freak offs. So she can't be what? That's sad, bro.
But it does show why some of these artists willingly do it. Is either do what Diddy says or chances are they're not going to get another opportunity. And think about it, Cassie was only 18, still a naive teenager, and Diddy used her dreams against her to take advantage of her and turned her into exactly what he wanted. So yes, Cassie could have said no, but she was still very much a victim. The same way Kim Porter was a victim, and the same way Little Rod was a victim too. Little Rod, just like everyone who came in contact with Diddy, fell for the same trick. He saw working with Diddy as an opportunity to make his dreams come true, while Diddy saw him as another person he can use and abuse. In the documentary, Little Rod describes how Diddy participated in violent crimes around him, injuring one man in a studio, then covering it all up. Little Rod also talked about Diddy violating him by sedating him and possibly having his way with him. After putting up with all his demands, when he was done working with Diddy, he was still in the same spot he was when he started, and Diddy even refused to pay him. In the documentary, Little Rod called Diddy a gatekeeper, something that if you have been following my channel, you know I've been saying since 2021. When exposing Diddy was seen as a crime by the masses, Diddy is definitely a gatekeeper, or at least he was. The same thing he did to Little Rod, he did to just about every person that ended in his web. He used them and abused them, and when he was done with them, he threw them away like trash. Everyone who participated in this documentary was afraid of Diddy. They all waited for Cassie to launch her attack and see how that went before they spoke up too. They all feared retaliation from Diddy. People say all these people deserve what happened to them because they chose to work for him. But ask yourself, what starving...
Diddy knew who to play with though, because he wasn't going to, you see 50 Cent, 50 wasn't intimidated by that nigga at not one bit. He knew who to play with. He knew who to play with. And because you play with the wrong one, you mess around and get smoked, my boy. Like, everybody, yeah, you got money and everything, but shit. There's people out here that'll do you for a little less than nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just off of, man, what? Come on, man. That's crazy work.
Artists in the 2000s would turn down the opportunity to work with Diddy. The moment Diddy asked any artist, they would all say yes, not knowing they were entering a trap. Once they were in that trap, Diddy made it difficult for them to get out of it, only releasing them once he was done using them. The most interesting part of the documentary was watching Diddy manipulate people and the media, telling people they had to fix the problem he created for himself.
Get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what, no matter what nobody said. Let's just here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
Or using the careers he gave his artists to convince them to make statements in his defense. Throughout the footage, you see how Diddy successfully manipulated the trial and the masses. The jurors, the fans, the masses bought into his manipulation because Diddy spent millions buying the media. This is why he was only convicted on lighter charges, allowing him to get back out in no time and do this to many others. If you think Diddy is gonna change, think again. Diddy had the power to be a good, honest leader, but instead, he fed off anyone who came in contact with him in order to build himself bigger and bigger, becoming the monster he is known as today. Diddy deserves life in prison. He deserves to spend the rest of his life behind bars. And if you saw this documentary and wasn't convinced of that, tell me why in the comments. As honestly, all this doc did was confirm everything I have been saying for 4 years now. I pray Diddy one day can see the error in his ways and truly surrender to God and ask for forgiveness.
How you gonna have like a demonic ass symbol necklace? We wearing that, but then at the same time you got a whole cross on your chest, bro. And then on your back you got this other demonic God on your back. Like, bro, this man is confused. And then on top of that, he's a fruitcake. Like, what? This nigga don't know what he want. He don't know if he want to be gay. He don't know if he want to be a gangster. He don't know if he want to be like, bro, you don't know if you want to worship God or Satan. Like make up your mind, my boy. That's crazy work, man. But anyway, though, man, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Oh yeah, Snoop. I didn't see that last comment, but you said Snoop is doing the same thing. These industry niggas, man. Exactly, bro. It's all fake. Like they just tell you what you want to hear, and then do what they want to do, and in the end, you're getting effed over, bro. That's the crazy part. So that's why it's even better. That's why I respect artists like Russ, LaRussell, you know, the G Pericos, the Nipseys, you know what I'm saying? Because they show you what the independent grind look like, where you ain't gotta be dealing with like this. Cause I guarantee you, well, I ain't gonna guarantee you, but no, I'll guarantee you this ain't the end. It's probably gonna be a lot more stuff coming out about a lot of other people too this next year, bro. As you can see, we seeing the industry fall before our eyes. And I have a feeling, don't quote me on it though, but I got a feeling that we might see something going on with Jay-Z and Beyonce soon too. Yeah, nah. Y'all ain't slick. Y'all ain't nah. You big and bad, right? Yeah. All right. We're gonna see. But anyway, man, that's my time. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I gotta head out. You know what I'm saying? If I don't end up doing another live tonight, I would definitely be doing a lot more content tomorrow. Man, we got a lot of stuff in the works. I'm dropping these sweaters too. I got some sweaters on the way, man. They fire too. They fire. Trust me. But yeah, with that being said, make sure y'all go ahead, like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And I'm gonna get at y'all on the next one. I'm gone.
Seen a rope, pop out like a boogeyman. Thought you seen a ghost. Yeah, pressure, so impressive. Ain't no pressure, no pressure. Ain't no pressure. He's over here recording. Ain't no pressure.